Happy April Fool's Day! Please celebrate responsibly but with good humor. Today's episode of Derby Profile is not a joke, however. We are going to be covering the Louisiana Derby winner, Tiztastic. Let's go! First up, the stats. 8 career starts, 3 wins, 1 second, and 2 thirds. In contrast to our previous entry, Final Gambit, Tiztastic is one of the more experienced horses in this field, and he has earnings of over $1.5 million. For major races, he has a lot. He's a stakes winner at Kentucky Downs, but his Kentucky Derby journey started with a second place finish in the Street Sense, a third in the Kentucky Jockey Club, a third in the Southwest, a 5th in the Rebel Stakes, and finally, a victory in the Louisiana Derby, getting him 100 points and a spot right at the top of the leaderboards. For running style, Tiztastic is a closer, staying near the back of the pack and then having a nice big move to swallow his opponents. In comparison to Final Gambit, who is another closer, he's not as dramatic or fast when he moves past horses, but he likes to wear you down. In the Louisiana Derby, he made up considerable ground to get within striking distance of the leaders, and then he just went that extra distance to wear them down, go on by them, and take the prize. He's only going to get better with distance. His closing moves have failed at shorter distances before, but when he finally got that 1.316, just 100 meters shorter than 1.25 miles, he really started to show his colors. Nice and purple. For strengths, well, I've kind of already alluded to it. He has good come from behind speed and can make up decent distances. He is very experienced compared to some other horses in this field who are going to be very green. He has some of the strongest foundation of any horse in this Kentucky Derby field. As shown in the Louisiana Derby, the distance is only going to benefit him as he moves his way up the pack. He's also steadily improving. After multiple hard-knocking performances previously in this year, he finally kicked the door down with the Louisiana Derby, showing that he's only getting better. And also, even before he was winning the Louisiana Derby, he was generally consistent. Besides his 5th place finishes in the Rebel Stakes and his career debut, he always finds a way to get a piece of the pie, even when he does not win, with multiple 2nd and 3rd place finishes in major Derby preps. As for the weaknesses, Tiztastic, despite being a good dirt horse, ironically has won more races on the grass than he has on the dirt, which could be interesting for later this year if he wants to try the turf triple, but first, let's start with the dirt triple. So similar to Final Gambit, he is better on a different surface, although he has actual proven success on the dirt in contrast. The other big thing about him is that he has been beaten by many major and minor Kentucky Derby contenders this year, such as Sandman, Coal Battle, Sovereignty, and Publisher. If you're going to bet this horse, the 2 questions you're going to have to ask and answer are, do you think that he has improved enough since those defeats, and does the added distance swing the pendulum enough in his favor for him to put the boot in the other foot? The last weakness that I have for him is that he reminds me a lot of other failed Asmussen horses, specifically Superstock, who like to come from behind as well, and he used it to win the Arkansas Derby. And he was also very similar to another Asmussen horse, the come from behind Creator, who also won the Arkansas Derby, and both of those horses finished on the other side of the top 20, 13th and 15th place finishes. So that is going to be slightly concerning for Tiztastic. Even when Asmussen had such beasts as Epicenter, he was unable to make it work. I don't think this is Asmussen's best horse, but this is horse racing after all. So with that, overall, I would say that Tiztastic is a very game, very experienced, sound, hard-working closer, an honest horse who will enjoy the 1.25 miles, but the question is his ability to handle the distance and his closing kick going to be enough against horses that he has previously lost to on multiple occasions? For that, I will give Tiztastic a flat B grade. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Derby Profile. Make sure to comment down horses you want to see on Derby Profile in the future. See you guys next time.